Chevy Bolt EV and EUV do not have an integrated navigation app that figures in charging stops for trip planning like a Tesla, a Ford, or some other EVs would. To plan a road trip in a Bolt, I needed access to a few different apps. We recently returned from a 2,200 plus mile road trip from North Texas to Eastern Tennessee and back. On the return trip, I thought it would be a good idea to show you what those apps are and how I use them. We now flash back to our charging stop in Mount Pleasant, Texas. So what I'm going to do is show you some of the apps that I've been using on this trip. This is my EV apps folder on my screen, and I've got ChargePoint, which we used our ChargePoint app when we were in Sevierville, and it'll show all of the stuff as necessary, and I have to, as you see, there's no charge points around us. But when we were in Sevierville, when we were in this part of Tennessee, this is showing us where some of these charges were, such as we charged in Waynesville, North Carolina, and we charged in Sevierville, Tennessee. I also used EVgo, and EVgo is how I was able to find Amy Line or Amy Lean or Ameline or Amy Lean or what, I don't know how you would pronounce it, but that's how we found that charger. So the other apps that we've been using have been navigating with Waze, and Waze is how I'll find, is how I've got the navigation going on the car. I've been using, thought I would use the My Chevrolet app and just plug in whatever the next charger was as the work address, but once it's plugged in, it's not really working. So what I've ended up doing, one more app. This is Electrify America, and this is showing the Royse City charger. And right now, the next charging stop, which will be our last charging stop in Royse City, shows charger 1, which is a CHAdeMO, is fine. Charger 2 is throttled down, it's only given 50 kilowatts, which maybe I'll use it. And charger 3 is the 350. So the plan is going to be to use charger 2, because with the Chevy Bolt, our peak charge has really only been like 52, 53 kilowatts. So I won't be interfering with anybody if I use that one. And charger 4 is out, is down. We're at Jefferson Park. Right now, this is where we're at. And we're plugged into charger 3, which is why it says it's in use. Charger 4 shows that it's unavailable. But yeah, I'll let them know that it's not working right. So here's how I've been planning this trip, though, is through a better route planner. We started there in Sevierville. We skipped the charging in Knoxville, charged in Cookeville, Nashville, Jackson, Forest City, Arkansas, Little Rock. Spent the night in Hope. We're right here in Mount Pleasant, where it says 34 minutes. Then we got to charge in Royse City, and look how those chargers show up in Oklahoma. And then we get to Fort Worth and we're home. And then I can go on to PlugShare, have PlugShare tell me where I'm at, check in here, and I'll check in that we've charged successfully. Took pictures everywhere as well. But what I've been doing to find out how we're going to go route-wise is I've been going into Google Maps, typing in the next charger, see how many miles it is, and then I add 50 miles to that. It's giving me a 50-mile buffer, which I'll usually lose about 20 miles of that and get to the charger with 30 to 40 miles because of all the interstate driving. In Texas, 75-mile-an-hour speed limit right here, which kind of eats up some of the charge. So those are the apps that I've been using for this trip and how I've been planning it. And the reason I have to do that is because Chevrolet and General Motors doesn't have an integrated navigation app with the car, with the Bolt. Maybe they will with the Equinox when that comes out. Ford has it with the Mach-E and the Lightning. Tesla, their integrated navigation system is great because it'll show you real-time battery percentage and mileage and all of that, and you can just watch until you've got a battery percentage buffer. So this one I'm having to do miles. I thought I'd use the battery percentage buffer with the My Chevrolet app, but instead it's just been easier to use it with the Getsometer on the mileage.